And that's why you can smell the bread, is because it's wafting from one of the bakeries surrounding the market. And you'd be able to hear, as well as you awaken, just early bustling in the market, people getting set up. You would hear some people chatting over prices of the day's catch of the river. I'm not paying that gold for that sturgeon. Are you crazy? And
I'll be like
a lot random murmuring.
Yeah, I'll be like slowly getting out of it, like real slow. I'm 70 years old. I'm probably in like some like everyone else in the barracks is moving around, and they're probably all quite young and like lithe, and they hop out of bed and start like fastening some basic like tunics and leather armors on and stuff, and I'm like real slow, like I'm on the edge of my bed right now listening to this haggling over the price of fish, which is something that I know about. So I'm just sitting there like probably like mildly amused and mildly annoyed in that way that only an old man can be, and they're haggling over this price, and I'm just sitting there like 1 gold, he's getting robbed. And then I'll
slowly get out of bed,
creakingly get up, and then head over. I'll give a little pat to my sword, Khwarezmia, as I walk past it, and then I'll very, very slowly just start putting on my bits and pieces. I generally armor up almost all the time, I think.
And it's typical for members of the Watch to be fully armored at all times. It's a privilege to be a Citadel watchman.
It's my whole life.
It's a privilege.
I've known nothing but wearing that. I probably feel quite weird outside of it. It's like when you see Piccolo in Dragon Ball Z when he's not in the weighted weird thing that he's in, and you're like,
the weighted. Yeah,
I don't trust this. What's going on?
Always at the ready, because you never know when a threat may happen or when you may be called upon. Because you yourself are a master swordsman, one of the best in the Citadel. I mean, proven by your victories in the tournament.
A little past my prime, maybe.
Yeah. And as you're suiting up, you're putting your buckle on, and you wake up as well earlier than anybody else typically, because you're older. That's how your internal clock works. Most people aren't awake at this hour. You're typically the very first one down to the mess hall to get a little bit of grub and maybe an ale if that's what you like. But you hear a loud rap on the door with steel gauntlets. Caster, are you there? And you hear Captain Fulk Goldworthy. Caster.
Yes.
I just got this from Grand Meister. And he hands you a parchment, like old parchment with a red seal of the Overlord on it. And he says, this is uncommon. I don't know what the deal is with it, but this is for you. I was told to not open it.
I'm going to put it on the bed, assuming that it's just that I've been fired because I'm too old. Put it on the bed, and I'll turn to the captain and I'll say, do you mind helping me fasten this? I can't reach around, can't twist my body that far anymore in my old age.
Again, Caster. And he moves into the door and sort of has a bit of a frown on his face, and he gives you a hand with your armor. And he does this because he knows that you are, despite your old age, still one of the best swordsmen in the land.
And like, so, I see his look, and I just say, it's just not worth the risk. Not in the morning. Dawn's barely broken.
Well, make sure you check that then.
And I'll heft up my sword. A claymore? Is that would I still strap that to a side, or would I need a full?
You could have a scabbard on the back.
A huge back scabbard.
That's a large sword. That's like a sword and a half.
Claymore is a big fucker.
It's a big fucker. Yeah.
It's a large two-handed sword, a heavy weapon. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll strap the huge scabbard on, and then the sword. I'll wait for Falk to leave because I don't want him to witness me be fired.
And he scuttles out quickly. He doesn't like to be, not necessarily annoyed, but he wants to take care of his business. And as he closes the door, you hear through the door, "Make sure you check that. I don't want to get in trouble." And you hear him strut off his metal iron greaves clanking off of the stone
Um,
tiles on the floor in the hallway.
I'll turn I'll take a quick look out the window. Look at the day. Good day, bad day. What's the weather like today?
Roll me a perception check.
What?
So
How?
The perception. Okay, so do you have your perception stat there on your character sheet? You have perception down in your base.
Really?
So, yep.
Oh yeah, 2.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So what is that? 2d6 or?
Yeah, just a straight up roll of 2d6.
Alrighty.
A 5. You notice nothing more than just the bickering of merchants, and you see in the corner of the square some children running along, kicking a ball, screaming, and just doing typical children things.
Is it raining today?
It's a beautiful sunny day. There's a few clouds in the sky, but the birds are chirping, and it's hot. The sun is hot. It is hot here in Khwarezmia. It's probably about, I want to say, this early, and this is probably about 6 o'clock in the morning. It's probably already like 25 degrees Celsius. Like, it's hot. So it's not overly comfortable wearing the armor around all day. But yeah, it's about that time of morning.
Fine. I'll pick up the parchment, break the seal, and give it a little read.
You open up the parchment, and all that it says on the top, it says, from Grand Meister Moraka. It says, you are requested by the Overlord to come to the castle and meet me at once.
Oh, right.
And
would I have any idea what that means?
The Overlord. No, this is just...
Who is the Grand Maester?
The Grand Maester takes care of all of the Overlord's ongoings. He is more or less the hand of the king, the hand of the Overlord.
Has he ever called me for anything before?
Never before. But he is well known in the Citadel.
Am I more likely to be having my head chopped off, or what?
You wouldn't expect to have anything like that happen to you. Like,
so
this
it's probably an officialdom thing.
It's an official thing. This is official thing from the Grand Meister, and on behest of the Overlord. So
big wax seal on it or something.
Big wax, yeah. The actual parchment is literally rolled up like this, and a huge circle. Like, the majority of the parchment is this one massive red wax seal, and it just says, "Come to the keep, come to the castle, at your quickest behest."
I grumble and move out of the room. I'll bring my. I have like a basic backpack. I'll bring my satchel with my basic things in it, like my flask of whiskey, very important. I'll take a sip. At this point, what have I got to lose?
Of your whiskey, it's warm, piss warm, because it's been sitting out all night long.
It's just me brushing my teeth, basically.
Just a quick disinfectant. It's almost like you use it like Listerine early in the morning.
Yeah.
Start out the day with some whiskey breath.
Okay. I'm just grumbling like old men do. Lock my door. If I have a lock, probably.
There would be a lock on the door, yeah, absolutely.
And I'll just steadily make my way to the Citadel then. Like, once I'm outside, I'll helm and, because I have what is it called? An armet with my white plume.
Which are, you should almost grab a picture of the armet, because it's a difficult thing. I don't know. I should have done that earlier, but it's a really interesting regal helmet.
Yes, armet with plume.
And it's a white plume to signify the Citadel watch. So it has a white plume, like pure white, and your plumes would be changed out fairly regularly to keep them pristine.
I don't know why there is no images of one of these with a fucking plume, but it's one of these ones, you know, one of the ones that looks like this. But I have a white plume to signify that I'm part of the watch. And yeah, I most of the time when I'm walking around the city just casually by myself, I'll make sure that I'm in full armor with the helmet as well, because that brings me down to the level of a young man. No one knows who's inside of it. You know, a handful of people will know with my rep stat or whatever. But and my sword, like, I feel like I probably have just like a basic diamond shaped pommel, maybe. Like, it's just very finely crafted in like a cool
It's probably made out of like an amber, like a golden color amber, maybe, kind of crafted.
Yeah, and it's just like a diamond, like a rhombus-y shape on the end, so it kind of shows it's nicely finely crafted with like black leather on the handle, which has been changed millions of times over the years, probably. And the rest of it, however, is just, you know, a huge great sword in a scabbard, and that just sticks out. The plume over. I make sure that I wear the hat, the armlet, just because then, you know, less people will fuck with me. If I'm an old man, more people are like starting to test me probably in the street now, like, you're getting old man. I carry on grumbling past.
And as you're making your way to the keep, you are definitely meted, or not meted, but there's eyes on you as you're walking through. Nobody says anything to you, but you have eyes on you. And as you see Castair walking up the steps of the keep to go meet with the Grand Meister, we're going to shift frame right back over to Narat Vey. And where is Narat Vey right now?
I'm assuming that there is a district of this city that is like
seedy and slummy.
Seedy, but I'm assuming there's also some kind of marketplace somewhere.
Yep, there's two major markets. There's the market, the larger market, where the majority of, you know, the general trading goes on in the north. Up here, I'll ping it on the map. That's the major market.
Yeah. We got the two squares there.
Yeah, the square that's right in the center of the market that's right in the center of the Citadel. There's a huge well in the middle where people go every morning to grab water. And there's not a lot of buildings around that, but the area, and you were looking for the seedy or slummy area.
Yeah,
is that what you were...
like somewhere, you know, where you're gonna run into sort of like lower income folks.
Okay, they would be that area of the Citadel is in the most extreme southeastern corner of the map there.
Okay, yeah, the like smashed
all smashed buildings, and they are literally smashed on top of each other.
Sorry, Bobby. Go ahead.
So, and the buildings, they're jetty buildings. I don't know if you've ever seen in medieval pictures. Yeah. They're like the base goes up so high, and then the next floor it oversteps that by a few feet, and it's almost like I almost would need to pull up a picture, but it's called jettying. But yeah, it's all stacked on top of each other, very seedy. No one residence is typically bigger than
like thematically, when you're thinking about like large city, what kind of architecture are we thinking? Is it like European kind of architecture, or is it like Arab, like the Arab?
It like, would be. It's honestly a mishmash. It's really a mishmash. The main keep itself is pictured almost like Spanish Gothic. It's quite ornate, but it's still quite simple. Lots of right angles, lots of large whitewashed walls.
The way you were describing like the heat, I got this vision of sort of like an Agrabah vibe in my head, but not like that, like more like a European large city.
Yeah, picture something in in the heart of Spain. You know, it's very hot, it's very sunny.
I got you.
And that's about where you're at. And this is a forested area, and outside the city there's large trees, but it's not too bad where you're at. But yeah, so where you are in the slums right now, which would be in this southeastern section.
Yeah.
Where would you be? Is this where you live?
There's a particular corner where Narat always sits and like does her best like beggar impression, basically. There's a little like alcove along this street, and I imagine the street to be sort of basically just dirt, you know. There's a little alcove where she stores like this satchel of her things. And there's like a bedroll sort of like uncomfortably crammed into the corner. And like a ratty blanket and stuff. She clearly just like lives in this small alcove.
The first thing that you'd notice too in this alcove is the stench. It absolutely stinks.
Yeah, the streets.
There's no sewer. There's no sewer in there. So people are literally dumping their shit on the street. So it's pretty gross, but that's the norm. There's no services for them there.
And Narat herself is like unwashed. This isn't the kind of person who like gets to bathe regularly or even wants to necessarily. She has like very dirty like hands, and her clothing is like very ratty and sort of like hot. It's good quality, like hides and like it looks like a pelt of some large antelope or something that she's had for a long time, and it's like worn in. But yeah, she's just sitting on the corner. There's like a cup in front of her, and she's sitting cross-legged in the dirt, basically.
You see a lot of just like poor people kind of just trotting around, no shoes on some, but nobody pays you any attention. Nobody's dropping any copper or silver pieces into your cup. And after busking for a little, do you busk? Like, are you doing anything while you're there? Or are you just sitting there as a?
She's watching. There are definitely people who know her and who have seen her here a lot, obviously, and she changes her spot every like couple of years. But like there are people that know her as a professional, in other ways, and this is just sort of the cover for that. It's one of those like, well, if I'm not off killing people, then I guess I'm here trying to make a living, quote unquote. She probably has a bunch of gold stashed in her satchel somewhere, but better to look like you're doing something than look like you're perfectly happy and healthy.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Now, as you're sitting there, and as I said, you've been there for a little while. You probably started busking at the crack of dawn. As soon as the sun was up, you probably sat down. And this is a strange sight. You notice a member of the Watch, the Citadel Watch, this big, burly old man. He's about 6'6", broad as a barn, just scruffy faced. He's got the visor of his helmet kind of flipped up, and you can see the white plume above his head. And what catches you is the glint of the armor that catches your eye. And as he's walking, and as you note, as he's walking towards you, you notice that he is looking at you, directly at you. His eyes are on you, and he's not hiding that at all.
So Narath's interactions with the Watch have been fairly unpleasant generally. It's either to like shift her or move her along somewhere, or some complaint about that she was intruding on some place, or that she should get out of somewhere or whatever. Like there's a lot of that kind of like hassling that goes on. So she's just like she sees that he's watching, and then like just averts her eyes and hopes that he looks somewhere else.
And he continues approaching. He's walking down this narrow alley. He steps in a little bit of shit that was just recently dumped, and he just he spits on the ground, and he keeps walking over towards you. But this time he's straight up walking towards you, and he comes up to you. Nertve, that's you, isn't it? I was told to be here.
That's me.
I was told to give you this, and he just hands out this parchment of with the seal of the Overlord on it. And you would know this. The seal of the Overlord, the heraldry of the Overlord, isn't something you'd see in the seedier part of town, but it's something you definitely know.
Sure, like everybody knows what it is, kind of thing.
Yeah, and that's literally it. He hands you this parchment, and he says, "Fucking stinks here, doesn't it?" And he just puts his visor down. And he says to you, "Make sure you listen. We know where you're to." And he turns and he walks off in a huff.
Like I'm left holding this parchment that makes no sense to Narat, like off base, because she assumes that like every person who knows that she exists, just there's nobody who would think she was important enough to receive a missive from the Overlord or whatever. And so she like pries the seal open and opens the parchment to read it.
And you see up on top it says to Naratve.
Actually, I don't know if she can read. She's born primitive, so I don't do you think the Sylvan Elves have some kind of written language? Or
they would absolutely have a written language.
I think
definitely.
they probably do. Yeah. Okay. No. So scratch that. Yeah. Okay. So to Naratve.
And it just says on top, on behest of Overlord Tukai, you are requested to come to the keep as soon as possible. Do not disobey Grandmeister Moroka.
Right. So I scroll, I roll it back up and like lean over to where my little satchel is and like stuff it in there. And pick up the thing and the bedroll and just get everything sort of like tied into place and like, you know, travel ready, so to speak. And head off, I guess, in the direction of the castle proper.
The castle keep. Now, as you're turned around, putting the parchment away into your pack, roll me a perception check.
Sure. What stat would that be?
There's a perception pool down under.
Oh, there's a perception
in the bottom.
pool?
Yeah, we had that was one of the stats we had derived.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Boom.
Okay. Oh wow, that's a good roll. So as you are turned around, you hear from behind you someone picking up your cup and sprinting off with it. Or you hear someone go, like, approach and pick up your cup.
So, immediately on like somebody approaching that close to me without me noticing up until that point, I drop all the things that I'm carrying. Like if I'm like fiddling with the bedroll, I just like let it go, and turn around and like glare at them. You know, like just see if they'll react to my having seen them do it rather than not.
And so the second you turn, you notice this grungy old human, probably in his late 30s. He reeks of vomit and booze. He stinks of it. He just picks it up and he's looking at you. Can I have that? I needs it.
But it's mine.
He picks it up. I really needs it. I needs the gold. And he shakes it. Is there anything in this cup?
I mean, you said that I didn't get much of a passing by, so
there's nothing in this cup. And he looks at this cup. Oh, he just drops it. He spits on the ground. Good for nothing. And he trots off. And that's an occurrence that happens a lot. People here are very rough. They have no manners. They don't care. Yeah. And that's something that happens all the time. Just people bump into you. People cause issues and stuff just to do it. They have nothing else to do here other than to occupy their time with drink or tomfoolery, so to say.
I mean, Narat's more than used to people messing with her stuff, because she looks like an easy target, right? So,
but did you do anything after he drops the cup back?
If he leaves, it's just like
yeah, and
pick the cup up and like tie it onto the satchel by the handle and get my bedroll together and then head off towards the castle proper. Definitely
beautiful. And as you're walking, or you notice him, the beggar, he was walking in the same direction that you went to. Like he went basically heading the same direction as where the keep is. Mm-hmm. And he stumbles and falls over and bashes his head on a barrel and is lying there breathing in pain.
Oh, I don't care.
Yeah, he just eyes you as you walk by and he pays you no attention.
It super doesn't matter to Narat what's happening to like some random human she doesn't know. The thing is, like, walking through the various districts she'll have to go through to get to the castle, she's going to stick out real bad. Because, I mean, I'm assuming it's in a cleaner, nicer part of town.
The more northeast you move in the Citadel, the cleaner and more pristine that it gets, the closer you get to the northeast.
And Narat herself is, like, her hair is, like, matted to the point where, like, you probably couldn't run your fingers through it if you wanted to. Like,
really greasy and oily,
like just like not matted. Gonna happen. And she's got like a couple of small like marks on her face, like in various places that are some kind of like tribal tattoo, you know, for her Sylvan elf family. But they're clearly like still the marks of like a child. There's sort of like an aging process, I imagine, where it's like, okay, you've completed this trial or hunt this thing or whatever. You get this tattoo. But yeah, she's still marked as if she were very young. Yeah, she just looks really out of place, like in any clean area.
And the more you head towards the keep, and I'll ping on the map the section as to where the keep is. There's no like one big building, but this whole section right here, this like slight triangle up to the north, that's straight up. That's the keep.
Okay.
That is the keep. Yeah. It's a large. I don't want to call it a castle, but it's something that you can see from more or less all of the citadel. It's about 60, 70 feet tall, pristine whitewashed stone walls. And you could tell that it's been very, very well kept. But as you arrive at the citadel, or as soon as you I would say that your typical route probably takes you through the market. One of the things you notice though, and this is commonplace, and this is something you've experienced your whole life, or whenever you're in the citadel, is the farther, or whenever you walk to the cleaner areas, you notice more and more people look at you and with like a visible disgust.
Oh, of course, it's stuff like, like don't let the dirty urchin near my goods or whatever, like things will go missing or what have you. Like that's the kind of stuff she's very used to. Doesn't even faze her really. And she knows that people are like watching and judging her, but only at a surface level, and she's aware that there's like so much more going on than anybody can tell from a cursory glance. So yeah, like onwards basically.
And shift scene over to Mr. Macklemore, Cog Macklemore. Where is Cog right now in the citadel?
So me and Yodriel?
Udariel.
Fuck me, Pony.
Not
Speak
that
English. Udariel. We probably just got to the city.
Okay, so you guys are together. We perfect. We can do this together. Okay.
Cool?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. So you guys had just arrived. We'll say you arrived in the citadel a few days ago. Would you stay with the family? Would you guys have went to like an inn or something equivalent of that and just sort of stayed for a few nights? Or what would you guys have done?
I would have probably volunteered to pay, because I have a lot of money, to pay for like an inn.
Okay.
I don't think the family's very established per se there.
Perfect. I'm going to
Tell me if I take over too much now. That's just what I assume.
It's no worries.
Yeah, I mean, I just made shit up as well. So.
No, seriously.
Well, I mean for Peachy, because he was the one who was.
No, you guys, if there's a complaint, you guys we'll figure it out. It's not a big deal. The Nervous Wildebeest Pub is one of the main inns and taverns in the main market square. And if you look at the main northeast market, it's the building on the southeast side, this big one right here, this big spot right there. And would you both be sharing a room, would you say? You only would have bought one room, you would have bought the two?
I would have purchased one for him, because he's also part of the family. So
okay. So what happened? So, and this is early in the morning. You guys are fast asleep, and you hear a knocking. Well, we'll start with actually, you know what? We will roll me some perception checks, both of you.
Okay, what was that? God damn it! I have perception. Point perception is 2. What does that mean then?
2, then it's a 2d6.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so Cog, you hear a rapping on the door, just a gentle tap, and a folded up parchment with a broken seal at this point has been tossed underneath your door.
I grab my my flask and I go to have a drink, but it's like completely empty. What would be in the flask typically? Well, like a single malt, I reckon.
Yeah, the only malts, the only alcohol period that is sold in the Citadel comes from the dwarves up in the Blue Iron Mountains. So
It
it would be a
probably
cave beer stout or something along those lines.
It would normally be a pretty decent one, but he's like completely out at the moment. So I just pull out like a cigar from my bandolier. It's in like where the bullets go, bite off the end, and walk over as I'm lighting it to go pick up the scroll or whatever.
Roll me your luck pool. Okay, the cigar splinters when you bite it because the casing and the wrapping is sturdy enough, and you get a mouthful of dried tobacco leaves.
Can I use my herbalism skin to fix it so I can have a smoke?
Absolutely. Now you're gonna have to roll. You're gonna have to roll your herbalism.
Plus logic. Nice.
Oh, you recreate this cigar with some leaves of your choosing, and this thing is crafted better than any fucking cigar that has ever been seen in this citadel.
Rolling the thighs of virgins. I light it up. And try and read this scroll.
Okay. Your scroll, there's the seal of the Overlord. I don't know if would you be aware of the heraldry?
Coat of arms? Would it be around
It's the coat of arms. It would have been there would have been a huge like stone carving of this heraldry above the gates. Above every gate in and out of the citadel, there is the heraldry of the Overlord. I'm quite perceptive
for this kind of stuff, so I'd say I know.
Okay, yeah, you would definitely know then. In that case, then it's the real royal seal of the Overlord. Absolutely. And the wax seal, it's cracked, but it's actually roll me one more perception check, or roll me perception's fine on this.
An
11. Okay. You don't notice anything special about the wax or anything, but the seal is slightly broken. So what do you do when you have the parchment in your hands?
Yeah, I'm gonna read it.
You're gonna read it? Okay. On top, it says to Quag Macklemore.
Quag.
I'm gonna all your guys' names are freaking to Quag Macklemore. On behest of the Overlord, you are required to come to the keep and meet with me, Grand Meister Moroka, at your earliest convenience. We are aware of your reputation. Please do not resist. And that's it. And it's stamped with the another smaller ink stamp with the same heraldry and regalia that would be on the front of the wax seal.
What in the hell is this shit? I'm gonna burst out the door and just start banging on Yadariel's door.
So as you're banging on the door, again, roll me one more perception check.
Okey-doke.
Okay, yeah, you notice the same sort of deal. You notice like a slightly folded note under his door, similar to what was under yours.
I'm gonna pick it up before I bang on the door then.
Okay. And I would say I don't think you're gonna need to roll perception. This he's knocking loud enough to wake you up.
I'm an orc, I'm banging on this fucking door. I want it open. Oh, Dario.
Yeah, I would wake up from a bed.
Open the damn door, damn it.
What?
Open the goddamn door.
Hold on.
Damn elves.
I would just put on some pants at least real quick. What was your name again?
Quag.
I would what is it, Quag?
Man, if you open the fucking door, I could show you.
I have. I'm right here. I've opened the door.
All right, I was looking at the wrong door. I hand you the one that was under your desk. I assume this says we gotta go meet this bastard.
I'm gonna just open it. I'm assuming as well because I'm noble born of one that I recognize it instantly and just.
Okay, you crack yours open, and at the top of your parchment, it says, "Dear Euadriel, We are aware of your recent enterings to the Citadel, and we behest your noble presence at the keep at your best, or at your nearest convenience. And on both bottom there, it's signed Grand Maester Moroka, and there's another stamp, an ink stamp of the Citadel, or of the Overlord, I should say. And the stamp itself, it's literally 2 halberds crossed. Yeah.
So what does yours say?
Says we gotta go meet some asshole.
We have other
Seems
business
legit.
to deal with.
Maybe they know something.
Perhaps.
I don't know if this is legit. We could get in trouble if we don't, and that'll stop us getting Odin.
Very well, brother. I'll meet you down for breakfast. Gotta put on clothes.
Yep.
I'll close the door and start putting on my leather armor. That's so pretty. Fanciest shit I've ever seen.
What kind of leather is your armor made out of? What sort of animal would you say it's made out of?
Oh God, I'm bad at leather.
Or what color is it tanned?
It's brown. Dark brown and light brown. Very detailed, fancy elven shit. That is, it's almost like a, what would you call it? Not a dress, but it's long. Like even the chest plate is really long.
Beautiful. So I guess both of you guys, are you heading down the stairs to the inn, or to the restaurant kitchen styles area, or what are you guys doing right now?
Well, I want breakfast, so I've gone to the bar.
Okay. There's nobody there this early in the morning. It's probably about, I want to say 8 a.m. You would both know that this place doesn't typically pick up until mid-afternoon. And as you're making your way down the stairs, firstly you hear it's just creaking. These stairs have been worn for years and years and years, and they haven't been replaced. The floorboards are half worn down and half worn smooth. The steps would typically be sharp right angles, but they're basically just completely rounded off due to the amount of traffic and due to the amount of patrons that they serve in the inn. And as you're stepping and walking down the stairs and you reach the main part of the bar, little old lady, little old granny looking lady standing behind the bar. You can barely see, so the bar itself would probably be about 4 feet tall. You can barely see anything more than her top of her head standing over this over this bar. And as she hears the floorboard squeak, and then just before you come into view, you hear her shout, you two, would you like some food?
I tip my hat, ma'am.
I got some new pigs in from the Blue Iron Dwarves.
Whiskey.
This
Bacon.
early. Bacon? Well, that's what I was hinting at. We got some fine fat pigs, aged from the dwarves up at the cave beards.
Y'all got any of that triple smoked?
It's not triple smoked, but I can smoke it real quick for you if you'd like.
Whiskey.
Again, it's too early for me to serve whiskey.
Bang my hand on the bar.
What are you doing?
Damn it, woman, I want whiskey.
Get out.
I'll put my hand on him and just relax. We're going to meet the Emperor. No
Just
drinking.
want some goddamn breakfast.
We'll take it later. Just bacon, please.
For both of you, how much would you like? I don't know how much orcs eat. That is what you are, isn't it? And I don't see many of you around here. And he's eyeing you up, or she's eyeing you up, Quag.
I flash a gnarled, toothy grin, maybe some tusks in there. Yes, I am, ma'am. I eat pretty much the same as everyone else. Maybe not these elves.
Look, just grab a seat in the corner, and I'll be out with something in a minute. And she kind of leans. She stands up on her tippy toes and puts her hands over the edge of the bar and pulls herself up a little bit. And to you, Quag, she says, "Now, if you really want the whiskey, you'll have to pay me double for it, because I'd get in trouble with the watch if they knew I'm selling it early. I can put it in a different glass so no one would know if they came in, but you'd have to keep it to yourself."
Is she talking to me?
Yeah, can I hear it?
Roll perception. It's gonna be hard. She's kind of like, no, you know what? It'll be fair. Yeah, you don't hear it. You're paying attention. I'd say as she's talking, you hear a crash outside the door, and as you turn your head and look out the window, there's a merchant whose front wheel of his wheelbarrow just busted, and he's shouting his fucking head off, screaming in the market that he's just ruined his cabbages.
I'll just laugh at that, the vision.
I feel like if this were a TV show, this would be the shot where like you can see me walking past in the background of the wrecked
definitely
of the wrecked cart.
Yeah, I put my flask down on the bar. Put in this. Appreciate that, ma'am.
She picks it up, looks inside. Do you keep this clean?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean I use it constantly, so
okay. Yeah, she eyes it over.
Shiny and worn.
Okay, she eyes it over. It'll cost double for me to fill this.
It's all right, tabs on him. As you're like, cabbages.
And she heads into the back, and you hear this glug 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 as she's pouring some whiskey from a keg into your ale cup, your ale mug.
I can almost feel the burn, like as if I was drinking it.
And this stuff is strong. Like if you're to equate it to something in IRL in real life, it would probably be at about like a 50-55% alcohol. This is an extremely potent dwarven liquor. This is very strong, and typically most people cut it with some water or mix it with some whatever fruit juice or whatever they prefer. But it's extremely strong, and you can see through the door as she's pouring that she's got her hand over her mouth as she's pouring it because she doesn't want to breathe in the fumes. And yeah, she comes out and passes you your whiskey, and she says, "I'm gonna go back in the kitchen now and make the bacon. I'll bring it out in a little bit."
Make the bacon.
And she heads off, and I guess you head to your seat.
Yeah.
And you just hear some sizzling as she puts the bacon into a flaming hot cast iron skillet. The second the bacon hits the pan, it's just the loudest sizzle, and it's the loudest thing in this inn as you guys are just sitting there. And within a minute or two, you both can smell the whiffs of some of the best bacon that you've ever smelt in your whole life. Like this, you must think to yourself that this is one of the nicest pigs that you've ever eaten. And that's what do you guys do?
I would lean in to. Oh my God, this is gonna take so long, Quag. Have you heard words of Odin yet?
No. Last I heard, he was here selling some goods.
And when was that?
It's about 5 days ago.
All right. Well, we'll deal with this emperor business. But let's not forget why we are here.
I'll never forget that backstabbing son of a bitch.
He'll have to explain himself when we find him.
Who the fuck even needs a retirement home?
I don't. It's hogwash. Is that a word? And I assume that's mid-conversation, the bacon.
As you say hogwash, the pig.
Yeah, halfway through the conversation, she comes over, and on one platter almost, she just plops down some bacon. And this is thickly cut. This isn't just thin strips. This is like 1/4-inch pieces of fatback. Like this is beautiful stuff.
God,
and it's crispy. Amazing. It's crispy brown, glistening with grease, and there's still slight steam that's wafting up from it. And if you look at it, she's seasoned it with some salt and some pepper. And she just lays it down, and she heads back off, and she turns around. Either of you need any more drinks?
No, man, I'm good.
Thank you.
I'll add it to your tab, then. I'm going back to cleaning the kitchen. And she heads back and grabs a rag and disappears.
I turn to Yodriel. Should probably not tell Bruce about this here bacon, as I'm just like fisting it into my mouth.
Yes, no. It's fine. We're on vacation. And I'm just cutting it into really thin, like really proper, like cutting tiny pieces.
Oh, I'm just double fisting it.
Yeah.
There's grease everywhere.
It's polar opposites. It's like,
After about a few minutes of just destroying and putting away this bacon, she brings over a couple clean towels. For your fingers. I don't want you to get no grease on the tables or the chairs. She turns and walks away again.
yes.
I remove a hand from her mouth. Fancy. We should probably get going, huh?
Yes. Let us go. I'll just stand up and start walking.
Head out the door, and you enter into the market, and you make your way through the market, and you can see, like, the second you come out through the door of the pub, of the inn, and you look to your left, you can see the tower, the main tower of the keep, just sort of raised up, overlooking the wall, and you can see some flags waving along the barrier of the inner keep wall, with the same heraldry and with the same regality of the stamp that you the stamp on your seal. And as you're looking, as the second you step out, you just hear in the distance some trumpets playing, just like doo, 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 doo. And you have no idea what it's for, but you hear some trumpets playing coming from the direction of the citadel. And I guess from the keep, and you guys make your way to across the courtyard or the market square there, I guess, towards the keep.
Yeah. I completely forgot to include Lily, the dog, in this, but she has been alongside this always.
And as you approach the keep, you see two other people standing at the front gate, in front of a few members of the watch, of the Overlord's watch. He has his own royal guard, very similarly adorned and armored and armed as the Citadel watch, but similar colors of the Overlord, lots of reds, lots of golds, highlights in the armor, really regal looking. And so you approach these two people, and these are your characters, Caster and Narat. And as you're standing there, or as you walk up, the watch, one of the Leftern watchers, or Leftern guard. He's been making small talk with you too, Caster, as you've been waiting there. And he was saying things like, "No idea why you've been called here."
Well, neither do I. Worth asking, at least. What about this urchin? Go on, scram.
I'm shooing away.
And the guard says the same thing. What are you doing here, little one? Shouldn't you be in the south?
No begging on the steps.
I dig through the satchel and pull out the same paper that you have, and just sort of like wave it in front of my face, like, help me here too.
The second you pull it out and the guard sees that, he's sort of just like, my apologies, miss. I didn't mean to offend. I just don't typically see your type being summoned by the keep.
Narat sort of shrugs, like a little shrug, and says, "I've never been called to the keep before."
Oh, there's a first time for everything. And the second that he says that, the large iron door slowly creaks open from behind them, and out steps this relatively short but very thin old man with a bald head and robes of red and gold draping down to the floor. You can't see his feet. His robes literally just are dragging along the ground at all times. And he says, finally, you must be wondering why I got you here. And we will go to a break on that right there.
Well. Awesome. Right, we're going to go to a quick break. When we return, I guess a meeting with the Hand of the King, at least in the Hand of the Emperor, I guess. I don't know. Not my campaigin. I have
A hand.
no idea.
the Grand Meister.
The Grand Meister.
The Grand Meister.
The King's JOI.
All right, thanks for watching. We'll be back in a couple of minutes and we'll continue killing it.